Hi everyone, Nick Ortner from the Tapping Solution here. I'm here with my dear friend Scarlett Lewis, who tragically lost her son Jesse on December 14th in the Sandy Hook shooting. And Scarlett, thanks for being with us, first of all.
Thank you, Nick.
And I know I've shared this with you many times, but I want to share it with you from everyone watching. I'm so sorry for your loss and for everything that's happened the last couple of months. I wish we both live in Newtown, and I wish we had stumbled upon each other in a grocery store and met some other ways, but I'm glad that we met, and we've been doing some tapping together. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about your experiences with tapping.
Well, I had originally started in the traditional method of going to see a psychiatrist and a psychologist, and although those are great methods of healing, for me, talking through what had happened, I usually ended up feeling worse. I'd walk out teary, and I was really seeking relief and something more forward moving. One of my girlfriends was helping me, and I was introduced to you, and I knew about the tapping solution, but I had no idea that you lived in Newtown, which was really exciting to me. And so you and Lori Layden came over to my house the night that we contacted you, and had a tapping session with my father, my son, and myself. And it was a short while, and afterwards I felt better. I had relief, and it was just it was a blessing and a great feeling.
Yeah, and it's something so simple. You know, you've talked in the past about the difference between just walking out feeling worse and walking out feeling better. And to me, that's we know there's a lot of science and research behind the tapping, and you can do studies and all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, to me, it comes down to, does someone walk out feeling better? Does it help them move forward in their life? Does it help them heal in some way? And it feels like that's happened for you with tapping.
Right. I mean, when you're experiencing the darkest night of your soul, I mean, when you are dealing with trauma and grief, it's a blessing to just have relief. Yeah. And I definitely felt relief, and it was pretty much permanent going forward.
And we focused on the trauma part of things. You know, a lot of people ask, it's like there's trauma and grief, and they're very different. And the grief is expected, and it's such a human emotion, and I think it's a beautiful emotion in a lot of ways. You should grieve, you should feel the depth of that loss. But the trauma is a different component. The trauma, what you and I have talked about, is a lot about the events that happened and just the shock of it to the body. Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I mean, you were the first person that told me that there's a difference between trauma and grief. I was trying to handle that together. And so being able to separate that and then deal with one and then the other, I think I mentioned to you the first night that, I just want to grieve because I feel like if I could get down to that level, it would be a beautiful thing, and I couldn't even get down to that level because of this piece of trauma.
Yeah. So let's talk about Jesse Lewis Choose Love Foundation. Now, as I've shared with Scarlett already, as part of this book pre-launch, I've decided to donate 100% of my royalties on the book to your amazing foundation.
Thank you.
And it's my pleasure because I'm so excited about the work that you're doing. Share a little bit about the foundation, its mission, and how it came about.
Absolutely. So shortly after the tragedy, I think everyone knows how the world reacted, as well as our community and the neighboring communities. All these messages of choose love. I got thousands and thousands, and still am getting letters from around the world of people choosing love. And so the Jesse Lewis Choose Love Foundation is an extension of that. It's a way to keep that going. We are working with professional educators to develop programs to place into schools that are going to teach children that they can choose love over anger, gratitude over entitlement, teach about forgiveness, and that forgiveness is for yourself, and also about compassion.
I wasn't taught that in school, were you?
No, I wasn't. And I feel like I'm a pretty good person, and I tried to teach my children the right lessons. But at the end of the day, I'm a single parent, and I worked full time. And so you get home and you're tired. There are lots of good people, and the message is just not getting there. You lead through example, but you also have to teach. And there are some basic fundamental things that I think we're taking for granted, thinking that they're innate, and they're not.
Yeah.
They have to be taught. So you have a captive audience of these beautiful, precious kids, and you can teach them, and this is going to help make sure that something like this never happens again.
Yeah.
But it's also going to create happier, healthier kids that are self-reliant and self-responsible.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You know, the work that we often do with tapping is usually us as adults trying to clear out the traumas from the past and clear out the emotions that we've struggled with and just clean up the past. How much better to not have that from the beginning, right? To teach these messages so these kids are making better choices.
Absolutely. And I see tapping as a very important tool. If we teach children tapping, they can go home and use that in their homes. And they don't have to pay for counseling, and they don't have to go out of the house. It's something that they can actually take with them, and they can deal with any situation that comes up. And it's a way for them to deal with it themselves and to get relief.
Yeah, beautiful. So you're going to hear a lot more from Scarlett soon. She has an amazing story, and we've only shared bits and pieces of it. But for now, as I said, if you pick up a copy of the book today, 100% of the royalties go to her incredible foundation. And you know what I love about the work she's doing is that she explained what's happening, but it's also, I'm already seeing the plans in action. Like, Scarlett is a woman on a mission to make this happen, you know, so get ready. You know, your contribution, you'll see it in your schools before you know it, you'll see it in programs after school. I think that real change is happening here, so thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, Nick.